for the processional of the graduates.
Grace and peace to you in the name of the Lord. I invite you to join me in prayer. Heavenly Father, you are the creator and maker of us all. You have provided your Holy Spirit, the spirit of guidance and learning, the spirit of wisdom and discernment. As these, your children, go forth from this place into places of business and education, give them discerning and willing hearts to live out your plan in their lives, to touch those they come into contact with in positive ways that uplift and encourage. We thank you for the faculty and staff here at Southeastern, for their imparting of knowledge and for their mentoring of these, your children. Continue to send students and teachers to each other, that we may constantly be learning and growing in stature and in love and faith towards you. In your name we pray. Amen.
Good morning. On behalf of our graduating class of 2003, the faculty, staff, students, and alumni, it's my pleasure to welcome each and every one of you to our 93rd spring commencement exercises on the campus of Southeastern Oklahoma State University. I know that everyone appreciates, in light of the importance of this ceremony and the uncertainty of weather conditions as we began preparation for today's events, we had to make a decision about the location for this ceremony well in advance, almost a day ago. We hope that our guests and certainly our graduates understand that our concern was primarily for the safety of everyone concerned, and we're very glad to have everyone here today to witness this very significant event in the lives of our graduating seniors. To our graduates, it's a great pleasure for me, along with the rest of the Southeastern family here today, to be able to take part in this ceremony, which marks the beginning of your life as a professional and the point in your life where every conceivable option is open to you. We are assembled here today to witness and participate in one of the oldest, one of the most colorful, and one of the most dignified of all academic ceremonies. Commencement is something that our graduating class of 2003 will always remember, and something in which you should always be very proud to have participated. Graduating from this university is a tremendous honor, and I think we all acknowledge that no one can accomplish this goal alone. So as we begin our gathering this morning, my comments are to the graduating class of 2003. Let's take this opportunity to thank your parents, your spouses, your relatives and friends who are here this morning, all of whom have played a very important role in helping you reach this important milestone in your life. I'd like to ask all parents, relatives, spouses, friends of today's graduates to stand, and I'd like to ask the class of 2003 to help me and join me in saying thank you to all that you've done. Please stand, parents, relatives, friends, spouses. And also to our graduating class 2003, I want to ask you to join me in expressing appreciation to our outstanding faculty at this university for their strong commitment to you as students and for their commitment to Southeastern Oklahoma State University. Let's take this opportunity to thank our faculty for what they've done and for the role they played in you reaching this very, very important goal today. Let's thank our faculty at the university. Next, I would like to ask everyone to join me in expressing appreciation to the Southeastern Chorale under the direction of Dr. Stacy Weger for providing our vocal music this morning. Dr. Weger and the Southeastern Chorale. Now I would like to introduce our platform guests and would ask that they stand as they're introduced. Please hold your applause until all of the guests have been introduced. Dr. C.W. Mangrum, our Dean of our School of Arts and Sciences. Dr. Buddy Gaster, Dean of our School of Business. Dr. Jerry Polson, Professor of Physics and Chair of our Department of Physical Sciences, representing our Graduate Dean, Dr. Doug McMillan. Our United States Congressman, Congressman Brad Carson, our Spring 2003 Commencement Speaker. Regent Ann Holloway, on our Board of Regents of Oklahoma Colleges from Ardmore, Oklahoma, and a graduate of Southeastern Oklahoma State University. Our Vice President for Academic Affairs, Dr. Jesse Snowden. Our Vice President for Business Services, Mr. Ross Walkup. Dean of our School of Education and Behavioral Sciences, Dr. Joseph Licata. Jennifer Osheim, pastor of Our Savior's Lutheran Church in Durant. And we want to express our thanks to Jennifer for delivering our invocation this morning. Our Assistant Vice President for Enrollment Management and Marketing, Dr. Jeff Hale. Our Assistant Vice President for Academic Affairs for Information Technology, Dr. Ann Haycock. Dean of Students at the University, Dean Liz McCraw. and the president of our Southeastern Oklahoma State University Alumni Association, Colonel Jim Haney. Please join me in welcoming our platform guests this morning. Dr. Jesse Snowden, our Vice President for Academic Affairs, will now introduce our honor graduates. Dr. Snowden.
Thank you, President Johnson. I'd first like to recognize the men and women who are serving as student marshals for this morning's exercises. Our marshals are all members of either Blue Key, a national leadership fraternity, or Cardinal Key, a national leadership sorority. I'd like for members of Blue Key and Cardinal Key to stand, if you will. We want to express our appreciation for the outstanding service both Blue Key and Cardinal Key provide to Commencement and many other campus functions. Let's recognize Blue Key and Cardinal Key at this time. We're gathered here today to celebrate the academic achievements of each and every one of our students. There are a few, however, whose special achievements deserve special recognition. On behalf of the faculty, I would like to recognize these outstanding students. The first of several groups that we will recognize are the graduates of the Southeastern Oklahoma State University Honors Program. The Honors Program was developed on the foundation created by the Carson Scholar Program established in 1978 by an endowment from Southeastern alumnus Dr. David L. Parsons. Freshmen are accepted into the honors program after a highly competitive selection process. To be recognized as an honors graduate, students must complete the required honors courses and participate in the other activities of the program throughout their college career. Honors program graduates can be recognized by the gold honors medallion held by a blue and gold ribbon that each is entitled to wear during these ceremonies. We are recognizing the following honors program graduates today, and if you'll stand as I call your name and remain standing. Tamara Bishop, music major from Durant, Oklahoma. Amanda Hale, communications major from Idabel, Oklahoma. Carrie Moore, biology with a minor in conservation from Meade, Oklahoma. Ryan Richardson, mathematics major from Caney, Oklahoma. And Megan Sarr, computer science and technology major from Atoka, Oklahoma. These are our honors program graduates for 2003. Please be seated. Next to be recognized are the members of the National Honor Society, Alpha Chi. Students from all majors are eligible for induction into this university-wide honor society. In order to qualify, each member of Alpha Chi had to be ranked in the top 10% of their junior or senior class and have a cumulative 3.65 GPA or higher. Alpha Chi members can be recognized by the white stole each is wearing. Will all Alpha Chi members please stand and be recognized? I will now introduce the 2003 honor graduates. These students are graduating in the upper 10% of their classes. We'll recognize three groups of honor graduates. The first are those graduating cum laude or with honors. These represent the upper 6 to 10% of this graduating class. As I call your name, please stand and remain standing until all cum laude graduates have been named. If you would, because there are several of these, if you'll hold your applause until all are standing, and then we'll applaud them as a group. The cum laude graduates are Carissa Faye Brand, music major from Poto, Oklahoma. Grace Denise Colbreth, music major from Durant, Oklahoma. Carla Jane Gosling, English education major from Durant. Meredith J. Griffith, biology major from Durant. Amy Lavon Hankins, biology major from Durant. Jeffrey Luke Herbert, interdisciplinary medical sciences major from Durant. Cora Darlene Mueller, English education major from Antlers, Oklahoma. And Amanda Dawn Wilson, musical theater major from Durant, Oklahoma. Let's give a big hand to our team. The next group is graduating magna cum laude, or with high honors. These students represent the upper 3 to 5% of this class. Again, please stand as your name is called and remain standing until all this group has been named. And again, please hold your applause until everyone is standing. Our magna cum laude graduates today are Sophia Linda Axelson, biology major from Durant. Benny John Bench, chemistry major from Kingston, Oklahoma. Travis L. Poteet, occupational safety and health major from Healdon, Oklahoma. Kevin R. Rourke, computer science major from Sherman, Texas. And Brad J. Williams, chemistry major from Denison, Texas. These are our magna cum laude graduates. The top category for honor graduates is summa cum laude, or with highest honors. To graduate summa cum laude, students must be in the top 2% of each graduating class. Please stand as I call your name and remain standing until all have been named, and again, please hold your applause. Our summa cum laude graduates are Natalie K. Capuano, musical theater major from Durant. Gregory Carter Davidson, social studies education major from Colgate, Oklahoma. Tandy Marie Galbraith, mathematics education major from Eufaula, Oklahoma. And Catherine Mary Little, art education major from Medill. These are our summa cum laude graduates. Thank you very much.
It has been said that learning is a lifelong process. Education doesn't begin with schooling, and it doesn't end with graduation. Sometimes learning begins with the alphabet at your mother's knee. Sometimes it's learning about the works of man and nature through long walks with your father around the block, or through the park with your grandparents. Sometimes it's learning about the processes of relationships, caring and sharing, giving and forgiving your brother and sister, your friends and neighbors. Education is the gift of man, but learning is the gift of the universe. On behalf of myself and all of the faculty represented here today, I'd like to dedicate this song to this very special graduating class of 2003. And on their behalf, I'd like to dedicate this song to all of you out there who have contributed through your encouragement and your support over these past years, all leading toward this grand event of today. Sometimes, not often enough, we reflect upon the good things, and those thoughts always say just how much we love them. And I count the times I have forgotten to say thank you, and just how much I love them. Love them.
Let's express our thanks again to Dana Daniels Ayers, instructor in our Department of Communications and Theater. Thank you so much, Dana. It's really an honor for me now to present our commencement speaker today, our Congressman from the 2nd District, Congressman Brad Carson. Brad Rogers Carson was elected November 7, 2000 as Congressman from the 2nd District in Oklahoma and was sworn in as Congressman on January 4, 2001. He is the only enrolled Native American tribal member in Congress, a member of the Cherokee Nation, and he also serves as Vice Chair of the Congressional Native American Caucus. Congressman Carson is an honors graduate from Baylor University, where he was elected into membership in Phi Beta Kappa. He was selected as a Rhodes Scholar and received his master's degree in politics, philosophy, and economics from Oxford University. Upon returning to the United States, he attended the University of Oklahoma College of Law, graduating from our College of Law in 1994, where he was named Outstanding Law Graduate. Prior to his election to Congress, he practiced law as an attorney, committing his legal skills to the public good. He devoted 1/3 of his time to free representation of poor and indigent clients. Because of his work on behalf of low-income Oklahomans, his firm was awarded the 1996 Exceptional Contribution to Legal Services by Legal Services of Eastern Oklahoma. In 1997 and 1998, Congressman Carson was a White House Fellow assigned to work at the Pentagon, where he was Special Assistant to the Secretary of Defense for Special Projects. At the Department of Defense, he was involved in some very significant issues facing our post-Cold War military, including readiness and gender-integrated training. During the course of his work, he visited American troops and bases across the United States in England, Germany, Bosnia, Turkey, Kuwait, Saudi Arabia, and Bahrain. He is a 6th-generation resident of Oklahoma's 2nd Congressional District. He and his wife, Julie, reside in Claremore, Oklahoma. We are very pleased to have him back from Congress and with us today at this commencement address. Graduates, I know that you will enjoy his message, so at this time, everyone please join me in giving a very special Southeastern Oklahoma State University welcome to Congressman Brad Carson.
Thank you, President Johnson, for your very generous introduction. To the graduates, trustees, faculty, and staff here at Southeastern, to the distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, it is really my pleasure to be with you today here on a very muggy morning in the Bloomer Sullivan Gymnasium, one of the great coaches that not only Oklahoma basketball ever produced, but the entire country has ever produced. All of you who are graduating today have worked hard for the opportunities that these degrees that you will receive here in just a few moments have offered to you. I am proud of what you have accomplished, and I am proud too of those who have helped make this day possible for all of you. You are fortunate here at Southeastern to be led by an outstanding and committed public servant, a leader who has served this state as Speaker of the House of Representatives, and now dedicates his efforts to the very noblest of pursuits, education, and producing what he and I both know will be Oklahoma's future leaders. President Johnson, thank you for your vision and for your leadership here at Southeastern. And congratulations to you and all of your faculty and staff on this, the 10th consecutive semester of enrollment growth at this great university. Congratulations again to the faculty and to the staff. Without you today, there would certainly have no graduates who we could honor. I salute all of you for your efforts and for your commitment to higher education. And of course, as has been said already, congratulations and thanks to the mothers, fathers, children, siblings, husbands, wives, aunts, uncles, and all the many friends who are here, without whose support and encouragement few, if any of us, would be here. And now for you, the graduates. Before you can begin to move on to the next phase of your lives, you must undergo this last grueling hurdle in your career at Southeastern, the commencement address. Let me be honest with you about my own experiences with commencement addresses. I've been through several of my own, as President Johnson related to you, and I have had the usual misfortune of sitting through dozens of others. And I can't, to be frank about it, recall a single word or phrase from any of those, I'm sure, informed, inspirational, but seemingly endless addresses. So today, on this hot day, with so many people standing in the back, on this wonderful day for all of you, for your families and friends, I will try to be brief, if not memorable or inspiring, or as President Johnson promised, enjoyable. My subject has little to do with my votes in Congress, a lot to do with you and your future, and everything to do with something that I believe so passionately in and am so concerned about, which is the future of our nation's democracy. It begins with some words about government and community. It moves to your experience here at Southeastern and ends with a challenge to each of you. In 1970, interestingly, the Italian government, not exactly a noted model of stability, created 22 new regional governments. And I think they say something to all of us here in Southeastern Oklahoma today. All of those 22 governments, it turns out, had the exact same constitutional structure, the same laws, the same regulations. But it turned out that after 15 years, despite the exact same governing statutes and models, all of the 22 governments worked very differently. Some were inefficient, corrupt, unresponsive to their citizens, and enjoyed little public confidence. Others were efficient, responsive, engaged their citizens, and had a reputation for honest, effective leadership. What could explain the difference, people wanted to know. Scholars inquired. And how, you may be asking, does this relate to you? Well, let me answer the first question. In the late 1980s, a scholar from Harvard University named Robert Putnam went to Italy to examine those governments, and he found that the success of each of those regional governments was not related to in any way, not correlated in any way with the educational level of its citizens, nor with the prosperity of the region, nor with any particular party in power or ideology of its leaders. Instead, he found, and it frankly shocked him, that the most successful regional governments were those that had citizens who had formed the most soccer clubs and choral societies, like we saw just here this morning, here at Southeastern, where you have so much talent. Choral societies, soccer clubs, Lions clubs, literary societies, and other indicators of civic engagement like newspaper readership and voter turnout, those were the hallmarks of successful governments. In recent decades, I think we can all agree that in the United States, we have forgotten that relationship between civic involvement and a successful democracy. That same scholar I mentioned a moment ago, Robert Putnam, applied what he learned in Italy to our own country in a recent book called Bowling Alone. The unusual title of that book was based on the fact that he found an interesting statistic. In the last 30 years, the number of bowlers in the United States, people who go down to the bowling alley on any particular night, has actually increased by 10%. More bowlers now than there ever have been. But he found, interestingly too, the number of people who are members of bowling leagues, who bowl with friends in some organized fashion, has declined by nearly 1/2. His massive research showed that from 1965 to the present, the percentage of Americans that belong to community and civic organizations, from Lions clubs to bowling leagues, has fallen dramatically. We are spending far less time with our family and friends than we ever used to do. Putnam concluded that when people get together and have ties with one another in choral societies, or however you like to spend your time, they accumulate what he called social capital. That's a measure of the mutual trust, social activity, and engagement, and it's closely linked to our quality of life. Those bonds are the lifeblood of a society. And that decline of social capital should be of enormous importance to you, our graduates, and to you who care about the future that they will inhabit. Why is that? Because when there is high social capital, children flourish. When social capital is high, crime is low. When social capital is high, people are significantly healthier and happier. And where social capital is high, governments are effective. We all know that political participation is declining. This is my job. I know it very well. In 1960, just 45 years ago, 63% of voting age people went to the polls to cast their ballot. We have never reached that high since then. The same trend is apparent in everything we do. Even our social lives are far more meager. From the mid-1970s to the mid-1990s, the number of people who just bother to have friends over for dinner on occasion fell dramatically. As a country, we spend much more time watching TV, surfing the internet, or commuting long distances to and from work. All of these things bring me to your experiences here at Southeastern. While today is an important milestone in your lives, it should not mark the end of your education. As the song said, today's graduation actually marks the beginning of your real education. Graduation means you have constructed a solid foundation upon which you can proceed to build a lifetime of learning and experiences. Graduation does not give any of you permission to stop reaching and thinking and growing. You just stop getting grades for it, and for some of you, I know that's a very good thing. But it is now incumbent upon all of you as the next generation of graduates, as the leaders of our future, to commit yourselves to rebuilding this eroding social capital that I have talked about, which is the lifeblood of our future. To determine how prepared all of you are prepared for this task, I hope you can answer for yourselves each of 4 questions. First of all, how many of you during your college years have registered to vote? For those of you who are age 18 to 25, a recent survey revealed that more of you can identify the rapper Eminem than Dick Cheney, the Vice President of the United States. I ask all of you, how many of you registered to vote? Even if you are registered, as a second question I ask, how many of you bothered to vote in the last election? Third, how many of you can name your state and local and federal representatives? And fourth, how many of you took time out of your very busy schedules, and I know all of you are busy, to participate in civic, political, athletic, religious, or other volunteer activities? I hope all of you can say yes to those questions, or at least yes to some of those questions. As Oklahomans, and for those of you who live in other states but are just temporarily here, honorary Oklahomans, it is our nature in this state to help one another. A recent survey said that despite all the problems in this state, we are the most charitable state in the entire country. In fact, the survival of rural communities, like those many of you hail from, has depended on that charitable spirit since the first people came to this state. But we have to be honest, the trends of society are working against you, but I know you can make a difference. However, I do hope you realize through your own education that you can't get there alone. I don't know anyone who did anything important alone, and there are already many in this room and invisible people too who have invested much of their time, money, and livelihoods to seeing that each of you succeed and prosper. Your family and friends are obviously to be thanked. But there are also many people who you will never meet and who will never know you, but who have invested in your education as well. Just for one example, the citizens of this great country, acting through their many elected representatives, have provided research and other funds that numerous Southeastern faculty members and students have received. There are, of course, the Pell Grants and other forms of federal student aid that I would bet many of you are dependent upon. Southeastern has also benefited from the generosity of both national and state philanthropy. Just in the last year, Southeastern has received $150,000 from Oklahoma's Sarkeys Foundation, a $175,000 grant for the School of Education, and of course, John Massey giving his 5th endowed chair in the School of Business. This university is stronger and your education better because so many citizens of this state and nation believe in quality education. Today, sitting here, you cannot thank all of them. You will never even know the identity of all of them, but you can be quietly grateful for them. For about all of those people, we know one thing. They did vote in elections. They invested in you, and they will ask of you someday, when you have a chance, will you do the same and invest in others? Many of you who are graduating today already are. Shayna Jordan, who's here graduating today, she's the only girl in a family of 6 children. She's receiving her bachelor's degree in elementary education. See her somewhere? There's her family in the back. She's a student chair of Restoring Our Community Kinship, or the ROC Conference. She's a super savage leader, mentoring incoming students. She's a resident advisor and secretary of the Black Student Association. Shayna has already demonstrated her commitment to others and to her community. She knows the meaning and value of social capital to a prosperous society. And Shayna, as a teacher, the most noble of professions, you and your colleagues will have the powerful ability and the awesome responsibility of touching young lives every single day. What an opportunity for you to make a difference. Mike Jones is graduating today. He is also a new teacher. He's receiving his bachelor's degree in elementary education. He is a particular inspiration to us, for you see, this is his 2nd career. He served as a proud soldier in the United States Army right out of high school in 1989. But Mike's dedication to his country came at a very high price. For in 1991, he was shot while stationed at Fort Polk, Louisiana, and forever after, he has viewed the world from a wheelchair. But instead of giving up on his future, as many might have done, Mike returned to his home in Caddo, Oklahoma, not far from where we are, and he began to rebuild his life. Inspired by the teachers who have helped him through difficult times in his life, Mike decided to become a teacher himself so that he could do the same for tomorrow's children. And I am so proud to be able to say today, as I said to Shayna, that Mike has completed his degree. Mike, you are a teacher. Congratulations. Thank you for your service to our country, and you make Oklahoma and this country so proud. I believe that all of you graduating today will make an important contribution to your communities. I promise to finish this speech with a challenge, and here it is. I believe nothing is more important for our future than the revival of community action and a restoration of mutual trust. And I challenge each of you as you graduate, and to your family members and friends too, to not only want our society to be better, but to act to make it so. And as you move to your careers, strike out on a new path, some of you move on to further schooling, I ask whether you will act as though a vital part of your life is helping others. Will you pay as much attention as others have to the needs of your family, friends, and communities as those people often do for you? Will you reject the cynicism, that pervasive excuse in our society for inaction? And will you encourage political leaders of all stripes to finally work together to do something? And will you remember that the first word in the greatest of documents in this country's history, the United States Constitution, is we. For the Constitution says, we, the people of the United States, in order to form a more perfect union. And will you realize, too, that we, the people, have much unfinished work ahead of us? We cannot do that work well unless we move together towards a deeper understanding of all of the ties that bind us to each other, and then act on that understanding. In other words, unless we move from me to we. I hope you will commit yourselves today to this challenge, and I hope that you never forget it. My congratulations and best wishes to all of you. Go Savages, and God bless all of you.
Great commencement speech, class. Great words from our Congressman, and thank you so much for being here, Congressman Brad Carson. This time, I would like to ask Dr. C.W. Mangrum, Dean of our School of Arts and Sciences, to come forward to present the candidates for baccalaureate degrees in our School of Arts and Sciences. Dean Mangrum.
Will the candidates for the baccalaureate degrees in the School of Arts and Sciences please rise? President Johnson, these students have completed all requirements for their respective degrees, and they are recommended by the faculty of the School of Arts and Sciences for the granting of the degrees as listed in the program.
Thank you, Dean Mangrum. Consistent with the statutes of the state of Oklahoma, the rules and regulations of the North Central Association of Colleges and Schools, the rules and regulations of the Oklahoma State Regents for Higher Education, and the Board of Regents of Oklahoma Colleges, and by the authority vested in me by these regents, it's my pleasure to confer upon each of you the baccalaureate degree as printed in the program, with all the rights, ranks, privileges, and responsibility that such a degree carries among scholars. In testimony thereof, you may now come forward to receive your degree.
Iyad Bassam Omar Abdel. Clay Alford. Shara Denise Allen. Jordan Austin Jr. Sophia Linda Axelson. Wesley Brandon Baker. Benjamin Ray Barlow. BJ Bench, magna cum laude. Tina Betts. Tamra Bishop. Amanda Meadows Blue. Robert Scott Blosh. Laura Martinkus Bowen. Cody Bowen. Carissa Faye Brand, cum laude. Clinton Mace Brannon, cum laude. Jerry Bridgman. Victoria Ann Bryan. Richard L. Berger. Billy Butler. Natalie Capiano. Summa cum laude. Bobby Joe Carter. Betty Ruth Castle. Candace Clark. Gary D. Crouch, Jr. Grace Denise Culbreth, cum laude. Jeremiah W. Cunningham. Gregory Carter Davidson, summa cum laude. Jessa Janice Davidson. Lisa Dunlap. Jared Wayne Eford. Susan Edgar. David Allen Evans. Mindy Everett. Adam George Ferguson. Shauna Renee Ferguson. Barney Thomas Frazier. Jeremy Daniel Game. Tandy Marie Galbraith, summa cum laude. Michael Gallegos. Leanne Gertson. Brad Gibbs. Carla Jane Gessling, cum laude. Joseph Gooch. Gary Mace Graham. Taryn M. Graves. Leslie Diane Gregg. Jennifer Ray Griffin. Patricia Lauren Haygood. William Craig Hamilton. Joseph E. Hammond. Jeffrey Luke Harbert, cum laude. Michael Harkins. James A. Hawk. Leah Hawkins. Katie Helms. John R. Hoffpower II. Haley B. House. Julie Deanne Eidelman. Kelly Jackson. Corey Lee Jackson. Melissa Andrea Jenkins. Charlie Jones. Jeremiah Boone Johnson. Robert Scott Jordan. Shayna Jordan. Katie Ann Kaiser. Stuart Kemp. Christy Kramer Perez. Claudia K. Lester. Matthew Lewis. Stephen Dwayne Lindemood. Little, summa cum laude. J. Chavis Lindley. Travis R. Loudermilk. Kara Michelle Lowe. Christopher Ann Looper. Alicia Jane Lyle, summa cum laude. Sarah Maudie. Daryl Masoner. Boyd Matthews. Willis Joseph McClure. Kimberly Milligan. Kenna Mize. Carrie Lynn Moore. Cora Darlene Mueller, cum laude. Rebecca Lee Munn. Stephen Matthew Neal. Jennifer Nelson. Macy Nichols. Lindsay Palmer. Lenore Marie Foff. Robert Dwayne Posey. Travis L. Poteet, magna cum laude. Nicholas Paul Prinz. William David Raines. Amy Meredith Rangel. Cody Reiner. Ryan Richardson. Kevin R. Rourke, magna cum laude. James Aaron Robinson. Ludwig E. Rossler. Janice Lynn-Ann Roy. Carrie Raziov. Brandon Seward. Amy Sexton. Rick D. Sykes. Clint Smith. Shahjalala Bashar. Craig Anthony Shank. Derek Elijah Smith. Dustin Isaac Smith, cum laude. Jennifer Story. Abu Taib S. Saeed. Sid Tabor. Stephen Terrell. Monica Ann Thornton. Rhonda K. Thornton. Jan Traeger. Carrie Ann Turman. Rusty J. Turpin. Shanna Nicole Virgin. Eric Voiles. Sarah Waldrop. Tracy Lynn Wallace. Kendra Lee Walters. Ryan Weaver. Amber West. Jeremy Clayton Whitaker. Deidre D. Wibben. Erie Mae Williams. Brad J. Williams, magna cum laude. Amanda Dawn Wilson, cum laude. Cassie D. Wilson. Ryan Wingfield. Chris Wright. Darla K. Wright. DeJoran Wright. Kimberly Michelle Wright. Tana Lene Hoggard Morse.
Let's congratulate our graduates in our School of Arts and Sciences. Next, I would like to ask Dr. Jerry Polson to come to the podium for the purpose of presenting the candidates for Masters of Behavioral Studies, Masters of Business Administration, Masters of Education, Master of Science, and Master of Technology. Dr. Polson.
Will the Master's candidates please rise? President Johnson, these students have met the requirements for their master's degrees, and it is the recommendation of the graduate faculty that they now come forward and receive their degrees and their academic footing.
Thank you, Dr. Polson. Consistent with the statutes of the state of Oklahoma, the rules and regulation of the North Central Association of Colleges and Schools, the rules and regulation of the Oklahoma State Regents for Higher Education, and the Board of Regents of Oklahoma Colleges, and by the authority vested in me by those regents, it's my pleasure to confer on each of you the master's degree as printed in the program with all the rights, ranks, privileges, and responsibility that such a degree carries among scholars. In testimony thereof, you may now come forward to receive your degree and your academic footing.
Harry Shane Aaron. Edward Brian Arnold. Magdalene Berthier. Frederick Bowman. Derek Buckingham. Greg Carey. Dino Caddick. Brandon Childs. Autumn Cooper. Robin Current. Eric Christopher Eichel. Chi Fei. Michael G. Garrison. David Christopher Gregg. Ricky Joe Hips. Catherine B. Jackson Holloway. Clinton James Horner. David Aaron Krebs. Antoinette Franchelle Mitchell. Melissa Marie Patton. Scott Ranny. Donald Van Smith. Shonda Sue Stewart. Wendy Gale Taylor. Jerry Wyatt. Lorelei Wyatt. True Chief. Terry Joe White.
Let's congratulate those receiving their master's degrees at this time. And we think it would be appropriate to now congratulate the graduating class of 2003. Let's wish them the very best. And now all of you can say you've had a standing ovation at your commencement. So. Next, we're very pleased to introduce the president of Southeastern's Alumni Association, Colonel Jim Haney. Colonel Haney was a 1968 graduate of our aviation program, receiving a Bachelor of Science degree in professional aviation. After graduation, he joined the United States Air Force, where he served for 4 years on active duty and 21 years in the reserves. When he retired in 1993, he was commander of the 64th Airlift Squadron at Chicago's O'Hare Field and held the rank of colonel. He was hired by American Airlines in 1973, currently holds the rank of captain, and flies the Boeing 777 from Chicago to Tokyo. He was honored by this university in 1992 as our distinguished alumni and currently serves as president of the Alumni Association. Please join me in welcoming to Southeastern today the president of our Alumni Association, Colonel Jim Haney. Colonel Haney, welcome.
Southeastern graduates, today marks your induction into a vital congregation, the Southeastern Oklahoma State University Alumni Association. Just as today marks the beginning of your life away from the university, it also marks your initiation into its fellowship as the torchbearers of her spirit and guardians of her mission. This university is a living, breathing entity. Our students, present and former, bring it to life. You are an integral part of Southeastern. Today does not mark your severance from the university, but rather your union with her. You are, today and forever, a part of the life support of Southeastern Oklahoma State University. All who are touched by Southeastern become a part of it. It is through this ongoing relationship that Southeastern continues to thrive. As members of our Alumni Association, you have the opportunity to share your commitment to higher education with everyone you meet. All of us who maintain our relationship with Southeastern hope that you will recognize the powerful impact you can have and the importance of your fellowship with the university. As a courtesy of the Alumni Association, your first year of membership is given to you, and today we proudly welcome you into the membership of the Southeastern Oklahoma State University Alumni Association. As you leave today's ceremony, each graduate will be given an individual gift by members of the association. And finally, on behalf of the alumni of Southeastern Oklahoma State University, we offer you our most sincere congratulations on the success you have achieved today.
Thank you, Colonel Annie. Colonel Annie and his wife Grace came from Lake Geneva, Wisconsin to be with our graduating class today, and we appreciate his leadership on behalf of the Alumni Association. Would like to invite everyone to join us at the Visual and Performing Arts Center. That's immediately to the east of our gymnasium here for a reception in honor of our graduates and their families immediately following our commencement ceremony today. To close our ceremony, I would ask everyone to stand at this time and to join the Southeastern Chorale as we sing our alma mater found on page 22 of your program. Would ask that everyone remain standing until the recessional is complete.